Recording started.
Well, good morning, dear students. You see, um, I'll start with the same request. Please subscribe the YouTube channel. I've given you the link on the group and the name also. Request your acquaintances, friends, and relatives to do the same. And watch these videos on YouTube. I've already posted 2 videos, and today too I'll post 2 videos to you. So far only Alishba has responded. Even Divyanshi hasn't subscribed yet. I expect all of you, especially the students like Armin or Aditi or others, to do the same. You are all serious-minded students, good students, so please subscribe. Now, you see, I've already discussed with you the theme of the poem. I've given you the meanings. I've introduced Blake to you, and I've done the divine image. Now, in this video, I'll discuss the first 2 stanzas of Human Abstract with you. So, the first thing about the title. Remember that in some of the collections, this poem is entitled as The Human Image. This is taken from the Songs of Experience, and this is the counterpart of the Divine Image. In the Divine Image, the speaker is governed by imagination. He accepts virtues as it is, experiences real joy, and discovers the divine qualities within himself. This one will show that the speaker is in fact governed by reason. He begins questioning virtues. He indulges in abstract reasoning. His personality gets disintegrated, and therefore he undergoes suffering, intense suffering. And just as the previous speaker discovered the divine within him, this speaker discovers the human within him, or the evil within him. So, the title is significant. This might help you in writing critical appreciation. The next point, which you can also include in critical appreciation, is the pattern of rhythm is reversed. In the Divine Image, the first and the third line are longer, the second and the fourth line are shorter. In this poem, the first and the third are shorter, and the second and fourth are longer. The first syllable is still unstressed, but you see, the rhythm in the Divine Image suggests joy and relaxed mood, whereas the rhythm in this poem suggests intense suffering, depression, sadness, and the tone is ironical. Look, pity would be no more if we did not make somebody poor, and mercy could no more be if all were as happy as we. So the pattern is the same. Pity, P is not stressed, T is stressed. Now, the speaker in the previous poem accepts virtues of mercy, pity, peace, and love as virtues of delight. And he tries to evoke these virtues within himself when he prays to God in the moment of distress and suffering. This speaker, on the other hand, begins to try to find out a justification for virtue, why a thing is a virtue, and he comes to the conclusion that these are not virtues. He says that pity would be no more if we did not make somebody poor. That is the reason why there is pity in the universe, is that there are poor people. So it's not bad to make others poor. Because if we do not make others poor, then who shall we pity? So, in a way, pity is accepted not as a virtue but as a source of poverty. So, similarly, mercy no more could be if all were as happy as we. Simple enough on the face. देखने में ऐसा लगता है बिल्कुल लॉजिकल बात कर रहा है कि भाई मर्सी तो हो ही नहीं सकता दुनिया में जब तक कि हम अगर हम बराबर के हैप्पी हैं तो फिर मर्सी की कोई जगह ही नहीं दुनिया में. हम किसके मर्सी करेंगे. इसका मतलब यह है कि अगर हम किसी को अनहैप्पी करते हैं तो दिस इज गुड बिकॉज मर्सी इज अ वर्च्यू एंड इट डिमांड्स दैट वी शुड मेक अदर्स अनहैप्पी. जबकि मर्सी की ये डिमांड नहीं है, ना पिटी की ये डिमांड है कि आप दूसरे को पुअर बनाएं. देखिए, मर्सी और पिटी एक तरह की वर्च्यूज हैं, वो हम एक दूसरे के प्रति जिसे कहते हैं शो कर सकते हैं. एक दूसरे के हाल पे हम तरस खा सकते हैं. कोई अगर उतना खुश नहीं है तो उस पर भी हम तरस खा सकते हैं. खुश है तो भी तरस खा सकते हैं. मसलन कोई शख्स हर तरह से हैप्पी है, उसके पास सारे रिसोर्सेज हैं, सब कुछ हैं, लेकिन चलते चलते अगर वो थक जाता है, एरोप्लेन में ही चल रहा है और कह रहा है कि साहब मुझे बहुत थकान हो रही है, तो हमें उस पर तरस आ सकता है. तो यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि उसको अनहैप्पी बनाया हमने तब हमें उस पर तरस आया हो, या उसको हमने पुअर बनाया तभी तरस आया. नहीं. दीज आर वर्च्यूज. गुड शुड बी एक्सेप्टेड फॉर गुड सेक. भलाई को भलाई के लिए एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए. ये नहीं कि साहब हमें कोई रीज़न मिल जाए कि ये क्यों भलाई है तभी हम उसे भलाई के लिए एक्सेप्ट करेंगे. अच्छा, होता क्या है जब हम रीज़न तलाश करने निकलते हैं तो एक तो हमारा नफ्स, हमारे अंदर की जो बुराई है, दूसरे शैतान. तो ये एब्स्ट्रैक्ट रीजनिंग जो है ये हमें गुमराह कर देती है, भटका देती है, और हम रीज़न तलाश करते करते नेगेटिविटीज़ में खो जाते हैं. So this speaker discovers negative things because he is popping unnecessary questions. He is asking unnecessary questions. और इस पे comments मैं अभी देता हूँ. Let's first read the second stanza also. And mutual fear brings peace. And why there is peace in the universe? Because A fears B and B fears A. India and Pakistan do not attack each other because they fear that they have got the nuclear power, and any one of these countries may use the nuclear energy and all of us will get destroyed. हम अगर किसी से लड़ते नहीं हैं तो उसकी वजह क्या है? ये नहीं कि हम पीस उससे एस्टैब्लिश करना चाहते हैं, बल्कि ये कि हमें डर लगता है कि अगर हम इससे लड़े तो ये तो हमें नुकसान पहुंचा देगा. सो अब पीस जैसी वर्च्यू भी फियर में बदल जाती है. नाउ लेट्स रीड द नेक्स्ट लाइन. टिल द सेल्फिश लव्स इंक्रीज, वी कंटिन्यू फाइंडिंग रीजंस टिल वी डिस्कवर that there is love in the universe because there is selfishness. Parents love their children, bring them up, tolerate all kinds of problems in bringing up the children. Why? because in their old age they expect them to serve them. Children love their parents. I mean, grown-ups, teenagers, जिनमें सोचने समझने की शक्ति है, उनके बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ, वो अपने पेरेंट्स से मोहब्बत करते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि वो उनकी एजुकेशन पे खर्च करेंगे. आज के दौर में देखें तो उन्हें मोबाइल का खर्चा देंगे, उन्हें पॉकेट मनी देंगे, उन्हें घर से नहीं निकालेंगे, इसलिए वो उनसे मोहब्बत करते हैं. देयर इज लव बिटवीन वाइफ एंड हस्बैंड, दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ सेक्स ओनली. सो इसको मोहब्बत जैसी वर्चू में भी सेल्फिशनेस नजर आने लगती है, क्योंकि इसका माइंड जो है वो, जैसा कि हम आगे देखेंगे, करप्ट हो चुका है. इट इज अंडर द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ रीजन. इट इज नो मोर properly integrated with the rest of the personality. The personality has disintegrated because of the dominance of reason. So what is the result? The result is that even the virtues of delight get degenerated. Pity degenerates into poverty. Mercy degenerates into unhappiness. Peace degenerates into fear. And love degenerates into selfishness. Now see the tone. The tone is ironical and cruel. It shows cruelty. Pity would be no more. A very conclusive statement. दया दुनिया में होगी ही नहीं if we did not make somebody poor. और देखिए, mercy no more could be if all were as happy as we. यानी मर्सी हो ही नहीं सकता दुनिया में जब तक के अगर हम इक्वली हैप्पी रहें. तो इन अदर वर्ड्स, द स्पीकर, द टोन इज, यू नो, the tone is ironical and expressive of a certain bitterness. Pity no more could be. Mercy no more could be. Pity would be no more. Mercy no more could be. So ये structures देखिए. Pity होगा ही नहीं, mercy हो ही नहीं सकता. There is no other way in the universe. इसके अलावा और कोई रास्ता ही नहीं. जिस तरह के फ्रेज और वर्ड्स इस्तेमाल करें इसमें, Pity no more would be, होगा ही नहीं. Mercy no more could be, mercy हो ही नहीं सकता. कंडीशन क्या है? If all were as happy as we, अगर हम एक से ही खुश हों तो mercy हो ही नहीं सकता. In other words, we should make others unhappy so that there can be mercy in the universe. Mercy exists because there is unhappiness. Pity exists because there is poverty. Peace exists because there is fear. And love exists because there is selfishness. So these great virtues, they get degenerated. Virtues of delight. तो अब ये delight हमें ये क्या देंगी ये? Now, here some words are capitalized, like poor, and you know, any other word? No, I'm unable to find any other word, but a number of words. Mercy, yes. Mercy, pity, these are the virtues, so they are capitalized. Mercy, pity, peace, and love. So, poverty is, poor is capitalized to add weightage, to, you know, to add a kind of an evil force to it. As we shall see later on, there are several words in the poem, as we shall see, like cruelty, humility, and other words as well, which are capitalized in order to give it a symbolic weightage. And you know, the words like deceit, The words like tree and such other words are capitalized in order to add symbolic weightage, in order to add an evil force to them. Personification तो हम नहीं कह सकते, because obviously it's evil. Poverty is an evil. Unhappiness is an evil. Same is fear and selfishness. So, the point to be noted in these first two stanzas is that great virtues degenerate when we are under the influence of reason, when our personality gets disintegrated. This is significant because the rest of the poem is based on it. Then, as we shall see, the whole society gets corrupt and suffering prevails everywhere. In this poem, the poet develops the image of a tree. लेकिन ये ट्री एक्चुअल ट्री नहीं है, as we shall see. Its seed is cruelty. यानी अब इसके जब वर्चूज डीजनरेट हो जाती हैं तो क्या होता है सोसाइटी में? एक ट्री जो है वो ग्रो करता है. नाउ दिस इज अ सिंबॉलिक ट्री. इट्स सीड इज क्रूअल्टी. इट इज वाटर्ड विद द टीयर्स ऑफ फॉल्स ह्यूमिलिटी. इसकी सिंचाई होती है काय से? घड़ियाली आंसुओं से. एंड its shade is the shade of mystery, all kinds of confusion. And corruption, hypocrisy, and abstract reasoning get nourishment from it. Corrupt people. Then it produces the fruit of deceit. छल कपट पैदा होता है. This fruit is very tempting. We often eat it. That is, we common people often get victimized by it. And evil gets shelter in this tree, gets protection of corruption, hypocrisy, abstract reasoning, false humility, cruelty, confusion. Evil grows everywhere, and finally, all saintly people, pious people try to find this tree in the outer world, but their search fails because this tree actually does not grow in the external world. It grows in human brain. Grows in human brain because the root of this tree is in human brain. That is reason, abstract reasoning. All this will come in detail in the next video. I'll explain it. In fact, I earlier recorded a video which I on the first two stanzas, which I deleted by mistake, so I'm recording it again. And I hope things will become clear to you when you watch these two videos. So in the next video, I'll discuss the following stanzas of this poem, and then in another video I'll take up the questions and answers. So for the time being, thank you very much.
Stop button.